Justin Jefferson expressed his desire for Kirk Cousins to keep throwing him passes, but isn't upset that the only starting quarterback he's worked with in the NFL has moved on. During Tuesday's episode of the Rich Eisen Show, Jefferson discussed the split and emphasized that he isn't upset about Cousins leaving the Minnesota Vikings this offseason. Cousins signed a 4-year, $180 million contract with the Atlanta Falcons in free agency, securing $100 million in guaranteed money. When discussing the move, Jefferson said, "I'm not mad at him at all for that. I feel like he just wanted a new start, a new opportunity to start with Atlanta and a clean slate, and I'm not mad at him at all for that. I'm grateful for what he has brought me and the things we have accomplished together." Jefferson continued, "But at the end of the day, it's a business and you've got to do what you've got to do for yourself and for your family. And I clearly understand that. But it's on to the next. It doesn't really matter what quarterback it is in my eyes. I'm always going to try to make the best of the opportunity." Sam Darnold is currently set to be Minnesota's starting quarterback, which will be an adjustment for Jefferson. However, the 3-time All-Pro receiver praised Darnold during his appearance on the Rich Eisen Show. After Cousins left, the Vikings drafted Michigan's J.J. McCarthy with the 10th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft as his long-term replacement. For now, McCarthy is expected to enter training camp as Darnold's backup. Jefferson will be entering his 5th season and has had one of the most prolific 4-year stretches by a receiver in NFL history. In 60 games, he has caught 392 passes for 899 yards and 30 touchdowns. In 2022, he led the league in receptions, 128, receiving yards, 809, and yards per game, 106.4, while earning NFL Offensive Player of the Year honors. Despite being limited to 10 games during the 2023 season, he was second in the NFL with an average of 107.4 receiving yards per game. In June, the Vikings rewarded Jefferson with a 4-year, $140 million contract extension that includes $110 million. That annual average of $35 million made him the highest-paid non-quarterback in the NFL. With Cousins gone and no proven quarterback on the roster, Jefferson will certainly have to earn that money. Chase Daniel claims every NFL player is not happy with Joe Burrow after 18-game schedule suggestion. Chase Daniel, a former NFL quarterback, stated that Joe Burrow's suggestion of an 18-game schedule has left every NFL player feeling dissatisfied. Find out more below. Former quarterback Chase Daniel is unhappy with Joe Burrow. The Cincinnati Bengals quarterback sparked a discussion about an 18-game season and 2 bye weeks, and Daniel is displeased with Burrow's remarks. Additionally, Daniel pointed out that many players are likely to share his discontent with Burrow's comments. Burrow is celebrated as one of the league's top 5 QBs, and according to Daniel, a comment to push an 18-game season from such a veteran player would arouse anger from several NFL players. After Burrow discussed the 18-game regular season, Daniel emphasized that every NFL player will be unhappy with Joe Burrow's comment, and he mentioned that NFL owners just got some leverage over the players. Moreover, sharing his reaction, Daniel wrote, "I guarantee you, every NFL player seeing this is not happy with Burrow for saying this. The NFLPA is already having meetings about damage control. This is what happens when a top 5 QB speaks in favor of an 18-game season." However, it looks like the 18-game regular season is not manifesting in the near future. Joe Burrow's comeback is just a few months away until the start of the regular season. After playing 10 games in the previous season, Burrow suffered a wrist injury and was ruled out for the entire season. However, in the 10 games that he played for the Cincinnati Bengals, his performance was not up to the mark, which caused the Bengals to tank and become one of the bottom teams in the standings. Following his previous season's gameplay, Burrow is anticipated to make a staggering comeback. With his evolved gameplay, Burrow is expected to push the Bengals to the top of the table. However, this remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, Burrow's caliber and his on-field prowess will help him make a significant comeback. Marvin Harrison Jr. refused to blame his quarterback in pre-draft interview with Giants Ohio State wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. had an outstanding 2023 season But his performance could have been even better with a more skilled quarterback than Kyle McCord. McCord often struggled to deliver the ball to Harrison and transferred to Syracuse after the season. But when Harrison was asked during a pre-draft interview with the Giants to blame McCord for some of the catches he didn't make, Harrison refused. "I don't say nothing to quarterbacks," Harrison said when asked what he said to McCord after missing him on a throw that he watched with the Giants personnel staff at the Combine. When one of the Giants staffers showed a bad pass from McCord and said, "That's a shit throw," Harrison didn't take the bait. "I can make plays still," Harrison said. "I will never say anything to quarterbacks, always putting it on myself to make the play." That's the right answer, even if it would be hard to blame Harrison if he sometimes grew frustrated at the missed throws that didn't reach him. Peyton Manning reveals the one WR in NFL history he'd like to throw a pass to whom he never got to. Peyton Manning is considered one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. The five-time NFL MVP won 2 Super Bowls with the Indianapolis Colts and Denver Broncos and was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility in 2021. Additionally, both teams retired his number 18 jersey. Recently, Manning was asked a pretty interesting question. If he could throw a pass to one receiver in NFL history that he never got to throw to, who would it be? Manning brought up some old teammates in Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Demaryius Thomas, and Emmanuel Sanders, who were great, but also pointed to the fact that he got to throw some passes to some stars such as Jerry Rice and Tony Gonzalez in Pro Bowls. So, who would his one receiver be? Baltimore Colts legend Raymond Berry. Why? Manning said Berry was a true master of his craft, with how he studied film and the precision in his route running. He also said Berry and Johnny Unitas had exquisite timing. Berry played for the Colts from 1955 to 1967 and led the league in receiving yards and receptions 3 different times. He was a 6-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro, and won 2 NFL championships as well. Even though he played in the 1950s, Berry ranks 4th on the Colts' all-time receiving list, 275 yards, and 3rd in receiving touchdowns, 68. NFL's best pass rushers share tricks of the sack trade. On a scorching 106-degree day in Las Vegas, heat radiated off the turf as nearly 60 NFL defensive linemen gathered around a demonstration at the Fertitta Football Complex on the UNLV campus. Within the circle, Las Vegas Raiders defensive end Max Crosby, New Orleans Saints defensive end Cam Jordan, and Buffalo Bills outside linebacker Von Miller conducted a 45-minute masterclass on quarterback rushing. "It's never going to be perfect," an impassioned Crosby said, after demonstrating a move resembling a basketball crossover. "That's rush. That's what makes it so beautiful." Welcome to the 8th annual Sack Summit, an event founded by Miller and now also led by Crosby and Jordan, where rushing the passer is a work of art that is constantly being perfected. The Sack Summit is a place where all the great pass rushers and the young pass rushers in the NFL and through college can come and talk the same language and really share their mindsets, Miller told ESPN. "I've always been a believer iron sharpens iron, and this is a place where we could do that."